He loved yellow legal pads,
Hmm.
and he always had a dozen sharpened number 2 pencils. I don't know what he had about pencils, but he just liked pencils. And he would say, "Do you mind if I jot down some thoughts and notes as we're having our conversation?" Your point about how it quiets the noise,
Hmm.
all of a sudden you're in an office talking with someone one on one who's paying 100% of their attention to you. In this instance, it's me. And it's very interesting the dynamic that occurs there because now all of a sudden I am engaging in a conversation where I know someone's interested in what I have to say, to the point where he would jot down notes. We would have a two-way conversation and go back and forth. And then at some point in the conversation, he would say, "Okay, Dean, if I heard you correctly, you said this." And then he would
Hmm.
kind of just read back to me
Hmm.
what he thought he understood that I said. And I would either confirm that or I'd modify it or correct it a little bit. Yet I never left that office feeling that he didn't understand me. And that's such a key element to the communication process. And to your point, I think it's such a habit of doing multiple things that we lose that one on one connection.
Yeah, and I think what you said there is really key. You said, I left feeling like he understood me. Note that you didn't say he agreed with everything I said, right? And
Correct.
that's where I think people are afraid to open these kind of dialogues because they think that listening and clarifying a message from somebody equals agreement.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You can still understand where somebody's coming from, let them know that you acknowledge what they're feeling, and then move forward with a different direction or a further time to think, whatever that may mean in that conversation for whatever the right outcome is. But I think that's really interesting is your key takeaway, what you feel and felt was understood. And that's what we're trying to do here, right? And I believe that that pattern is probably the same way he approached every single meeting with you, so you learn to rely on that. You know what you can count on. And we've said this before, but comfort is a form of expectations. I'm thinking of a leader that I almost have a polar opposite story. There was somebody that had the open door policy and the line out the door, people would just line up and wait. And that was acceptable. But if you were the one in the room waiting to talk to him, he may have cleared his desk and he may have said all of the right things, but you feel the pressure of that line outside his door and then he'd always be doing this, right? And that gave you this sense of walking on eggshells and insecurity, even if he was trying really hard to make eye contact and not look at his phone. So I think environmentally around you, the energy that you exude and what you protect, your calendar, your space, your immediate desk space, where your eyes are going and focused, and then even the room around you and what you're allowing to penetrate around that. It's all very fascinating. I have to
It
drop.
sounds to me
Sorry.
that even in that instance, I can't even imagine you being in there with a line outside the door. Are you really going to share the real story?
No, you feel rushed and everything, and then
Yeah,
feel like half attended to, even if you're the only one in there with the door closed, right?
yeah. And do you really feel comfortable in sharing the real story? Because that's going to take more time.
Mhm.
And it doesn't seem to me that that time is available in that instance. You just want to say what you need to say, get a couple of nods of agreement, and get the heck out the door.
And this is one of those examples of somebody that felt like, well, everybody knows this is just me. This is just how it goes.
Hmm.
But how it didn't go, it wasn't exactly like there was a tremendous amount of trust, right? And true information exchange.
But
So,
think not, right? Because there's just not that time for it, nor does it seem like there's that much interest in it. It's more of an efficiency. How many people can I get in and out the door during my open door policy or whatever you would say? I think, as you described it earlier, was protected office hours.
yeah.
Sounds like they were office hours, but not protected.
And I think the other thing, if you look at even social personas, you'll hear people describe certain personal brands as they seem approachable. You don't even know the person, but you get the sense that they are authentic. And
Hmm.
that's what this really comes down to is the authenticity in which we create space for ourselves and other people. That is really where approachability comes to be. And that can be in essence where you're just getting a vibe from somebody that isn't your direct manager. It really is how you choose to live your life. And if you're living it with that open space that's intentional and purposeful with what's in front of you, that is what creates approachability.